Cynthia, she mentioned that she received my salary history from Cadillac. I said, okay. Cynthia said, I cannot believe that you earned only $46,844.26 with a Master's of Science degree in electrical engineering. I replied, you thought things were bad being a white woman? Imagine if I colored your skin and curled your hair. Cynthia stared at me with tears in her eyes. She said, this is a cultural problem. I replied, this is a cultural problem that is maintained by the status quo. After applying for 90 engineering positions, I stopped. I met with my group vice president to discuss never being promoted and being blacklisted. Tom patiently listened to my list of complaints. He entered our meeting and said that Human Resources would contact me. In June of 2000, I received my first promotion in over 5 years of employment. My level changed from 5E06 to 7E06 Senior Project Engineer with a 9.8% increase in pay. However, my new salary was $18,644 under the market rate for a Senior Project Engineer. Being frustrated led me to write and mail a 14-page single-space report with 15 exhibits to the president and other high-ranking executives. General Motors lawyer investigated the complaints in my report and concluded discrimination had not occurred. My human resource director, Gail, offered me a severance package valued at $49,000, 10 months salary. 3 days later, I decided not to accept the severance package because I would give up my right to sue. Gail called my human resource representative, Susan, to meet with us. Once Susan arrived, Gail said, General Motors is an at-will employer and you are an at-will employee and we have decided to release you. Yeah. My attorney sued in both state and federal courts. The entire process was stressful. However, I would do it again. I sat through all 18 depositions, including the former president and CEO of General Motors, Mr. G. Richard Wagner. My manager, Paul, was forced to retire 8 months after I was terminated. During Paul's deposition, he said that I was terminated because I poisoned the minds of the people in my group by discussing pay inequity. During the deposition of my former human resource representative, Eloina, I learned she had asked a GM global compensation representative to grant me a 25% increase in pay because I had been low to market for quite some time. The person said, leave her where she's at. Both cases were dismissed in state and federal court. I spent over $27,000 on legal fees, including appealing both cases in both appellate courts. Since I lost, General Motors was entitled to $19,000 in legal fees. However, the judge reduced this amount to $14,000. I offered to pay GM $100 per month until the debt was paid in full. Also, I owed my attorney $11,000 in costs, which were not part of the contingency agreement. Without notice, General Motors garnished my salary at the rate of 20% for 2 consecutive pay periods. I filed for Chapter 13 and the monies were returned. During my lawsuit, my attorney hired an economist who projected my economic losses at $1.7 million from the date of hire through the year 2020, which is 3 more years away. After being terminated for General Motors, I worked for Chrysler through 2 contract agencies. These agencies exploit employees by taking part of their salary. The percentage raised from 30 to 50%. Conservatives will tell you that women are underpaid because we take time off to have children. We choose fields that pay lower wages and do not negotiate their salaries. I had children before pursuing a career. I chose a male-dominated field that paid higher wages, and I negotiated my salary without success. I sued and still did not receive pay equity. As an African-American female over 40, pay discrimination is more egregious due to race, age, and gender. I have earned an average salary of $52,500 $502.88 over the 20 years of being an engineer. This is the reason why, no other reason why conservatives do not want the salaries to make public. Women and minorities earn less due to white male supremacy. In order to maintain status quo, you need to have people at the bottom of the societal ladder. There is no other logical reason. My Austrian psychologist said, in America, those in control want to maintain status quo regardless of their religion, political affiliation, or economic status. And you are suffering because you've chosen to fight against it. All women need to fight for pay equity, especially the women who are married to, affiliate with, and related to men who continuously allow women and minority salaries to swim in the cesspool of injustice. These men are judges, members of Congress, and corporate executives. Not receiving pay equity is allowing an employer to steal money from each paycheck received. Women who are in the lives of judges, members of Congress, and corporate executives are afraid to speak against pay inequity. These women do not want to alienate themselves from these men. Besides, these women do not want to lose their high standard of living. For women who are not married to, affiliated with, or related to these men, they are afraid of losing their jobs. As long as women choose to remain silent due to fear, we will never receive pay equity. Desmond Tutu said, if you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. Remember, pay equity will never be given voluntarily by the oppressor. It must be demanded by the oppressed. As long as I breathe, I will always fight against an illegal, evil, immoral act as I did at the age of 8. I want to thank AAUW for giving me the opportunity for telling my story, and this is just the beginning because I plan to go to Washington and tell my story. Thank you.
Wow, what a story. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh my God. Thank you so very much. Really appreciate it. Thank you. It's a fight. It's a fight. We almost band together. You can't allow fear, like I did at the age of 8. Can't allow fear, but most people are afraid to speak out. You're so very welcome.
Very well said. Okay.
My name's Judy Karanjep, and I'm president of the League of Women Voters of Michigan. And I want to introduce our partners that get to be on many calls with Nikki Adele throughout our year of planning. No event happens without the work of many people, and I want to recognize them now. We have 17 organizations that are members of the 2017 Equal Pay Day Coalition. The American Association of University Women of Michigan, American Federation of Teachers Michigan, Business and Professional Women Michigan Federation, the Coalition of Labor Union Women Michigan Chapter, the Genesee County National Organization for Women, the League of Women Voters of Michigan, the Michigan ACE Network for Women, the Michigan Interfaith Reproductive Justice Coalition, the Michigan